My name is Neil Moorcraft. This is Automate, and this is part 2 of setting up our splash page. So in part 1 we headed over to our hosting provider. We told it that we wanted to set up a new environment, and it gave us some details. In the short time that we've had to pause this video and come back, you should have had an email, which is effectively your one-click installation for WordPress. So we're going to have a look at that now, reset the password on the account, head over to our Google domains, tie Google domains up with WP Engine, and then our website will be ready for us to install our theme and get up our coming soon page. So if you look into your email address, you'll see that this is the email you're looking for, and this is the bit of information that you want to take note of, which is the login username. So you want to copy that and then just click that set password link. That will take you to the environment on WP Engine. So we're going to use that username to reset our password, and it's effectively setting the password for the first time, and that will send another email through to us with a password link, and we click that link and set up whatever password we want to use, and that in this instance is fine, and just make sure that that username is correlated if you save those passwords. So that part is done. So come back into your Asana workspace, come back into this section here. You see that there are some links in here and some notes into this article, which is effectively what we're going to do next, and that is just setting up the DNS records and the CNAME records, telling WP Engine where the site is, and that's going to be on Google. So this is in your WP Engine workspace. Scroll down to the domain setting, and then this is the part now that should be populated. Assuming it is, you want to head over to Google Domains, make sure that you're logged in with the right credentials, of course, and you should see your domain registered at the top here. We're going to click in DNS and just scroll down. Now you want to leave these as they are, so we don't want to use custom name servers. We want to leave that as it is. Don't worry about this part. Scroll right the way down till we get to these custom resource records, and this is where we're going to put some information in. So we're going to leave that part as it is. We're going to leave the A record as it is, and we're just going to copy and paste the IP address from WP Engine over to Google. I'll just pop that in there and add that record. Literally just takes a moment, and then we're going to go back over to WP Engine, and we're going to copy this CNAME record, and we're going to do the same thing there, but this time we're going to add www. Change that to a CNAME and pop in the server name over WP Engine, and that should be all we need. Okay, so that's it. There's our two configurations. Though that hour in here is effectively giving Google and WordPress Engine an hour to figure that out. They'll do a test, and all of a sudden that will pop into life. But if you go back in here now, that effectively is done. You don't need to do anything else in WP Engine at this stage. That WordPress installation is already live. So if you go to the environment that you set up, you'll see that this is already here. If you go to your actual domain, you'll see that at the moment it can't be reached, and that's because that DNS server hasn't quite updated. So it normally takes up to an hour or so, but it can take quicker. But in the meantime, it doesn't matter. We can log in using credentials that we did here, and to do that we go /WP admin. That's going to take us to the login page. Our details are in here, and then we can log in, and we're now into the back end of our dashboard, which is the start of our landing page and our new web page. So before we do anything else, we want to come down here and we want to install the Thrive plugin. And that's effectively going to give us pretty much everything that we need. There are a few other plugins that we talk about later on, but you want to avoid using plugins unless you absolutely have to, because ultimately they can conflict and they can cause a problem. So that's why we use Thrive themes, and I'll just show you now over there why we do that. So Thrive themes is a plugin and a WordPress theme all in one. Again, there's a link in your Asana workspace to that. So if we go to Asana, and just scroll down to the installing Thrive themes, we can actually tick those two off now if you wanted to. You'll see there's a bit of information in here, and then a link out to Thrive themes, which is here. Now obviously I'm already a member. You again are going to want to sign up for this. I think you'll find about £20 a month or something ridiculous. But for that, I think you actually get more than one site, but you get all of the modules and all of the themes and all of the plugins, and that's exactly what we want. So you will need to sign up for that. I, of course, can just log in. And when I do that, the first thing we're going to see is the plugin that we need to install on our WordPress site. That's right. And that will download as a zip file. So that's the page you'll be looking at once you've logged into Thrive Themes and paid for your subscription. As I say, it's very reasonable, and it's the only theme you're going to need, and it's probably the only paid plugins you're going to need, and this really does give you everything you want, and that will become clear as we go through and configure this. But when you download that product manager, that's going to be a Thrive zip file, and we're going to want to come into our website, add a new plugin, and then just install that zip file. So we can upload the plugin directly from our downloads. And that should be in there somewhere. There it is. Open that up. Install that. And that effectively is going to install, as I say, the Thrive theme plugin and all the bits and bobs that go with it. Once you've done that, that's it. Effectively, we can start to configure the splash page and all the rest of it. Now, I'm going to do that in a separate video because ultimately you might want to take a breather, have a little look around the back end of this site, familiarise yourself, with WordPress, and equally if you want to go onto Thrive Themes and get just an idea of that. They've got some really good content in the back here, and the university, and some members content and product tutorials and all that kind of stuff. So fundamentally, what we've been able to do is take your domain, put it on your hosting provider, set up a WordPress site, and install the plugin you need in order to create the landing page and ultimately your website, if that's what you decide to do. But as I say, that's going to be another video because that's going to be a little bit lengthy. And I say between now and then, you might want to come in and educate yourself just a little bit on what that's all about. And if you're not familiar with WordPress, as I say, just maybe look at some tutorials online. There's plenty of those, but just familiarize yourself with the back end. And then in the next module, we're going to come in, we're going to activate these plugins, and we're going to put your coming soon page up, and all of a sudden it's going to start making a lot more sense. You'll see just how easy it is. So on that note, I will see you in the next module.